What's going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel. So we're taking a look at Dead Space Remake here running on the Steam Deck, and this is definitely a game I've been anticipating for a while now, especially after my playthrough with the Callisto Protocol, which myself I actually enjoyed, but now playing Dead Space Remake does remind me why we love this game so much. But let's jump in and take a look at performance here on the deck. Taking a look at display and graphics first. Video options, I'm at borderless. You can bounce between full screen and borderless. I just seem to have a little bit better time with it here. 800p of course in handheld mode, and we are no dynamic resolution, no film grain, no motion blur. FSR I've put to balanced instead of performance because we've had a couple of updates that we'll talk about, and low for everything else. Getting into the game like this, performance is actually pretty decent, and as I mentioned, this is after some little patches that came out today. So I was recording on launch day yesterday, and I was having a heck of a time with the game freezing and stuttering and being unplayable in a lot of the cases. Now, after these little patches today, it's certainly not perfect. As you can see, some of our frame rate dipping here, and in this scene again to 29, then back up, but its recovery now is much faster and doesn't introduce as much stutter as it did before. So I would anticipate, much like Callisto, we'll see more patches and improvements come as time goes by here. It wouldn't take much to just kind of smooth this out a little bit more and it would be even better, but it's certainly a much better experience today already versus launch day. So I've scrapped that original footage and I'm just using the patched footage here for the day after. And I think all in all, it's maybe even running better than Callisto did at its initial launch in its first couple of days, and that game has certainly improved as well. So performance here on Steam Deck is pretty good, especially at 800p. It looks decent in handheld mode. If you dock it and blow it up this way and you can't get up to 1080, it is a little rough. A lot of the text is hard to read even with FSR at balanced versus performance. Performance was really bad when it came to reading text in the game until you got like right up close. So I'm happy that I can now go to balanced with these updates and still get some decent performance and pretty much stay above 30 FPS. Now right here I'm going to go ahead and lock the game to 30. I'm not really going to go for a 40 FPS lock in this game because it's rather difficult, but with 30 we can get a pretty steady experience, and it helps with some of those stutter like load in areas. It doesn't completely fix them because the game does have these like stutters when you get into a larger load in area, but if you want to steady your frame rate and have a little bit more overhead on your system to help with that, the 30 FPS certainly was working well for me with these settings. I could maybe even bump something up just a little bit if I wanted to there. So whether I'm running unlocked or 30, I think for the most part I can get a decent experience here with Dead Space Remake, and that is because of those initial first couple patches, because my original video was going to be a bit different about how difficult it was to play the game on launch day. So certainly nice to see those improvements so quick. I hope we continue to see them. Whether you want to play this game at 40 FPS if you want to try, or maybe continue with performance FSR, you want to go 30 FPS lock, or whatever the case may be, you can certainly play around a little bit and probably get the experience you want here for Dead Space Remake on your Steam Deck. I'm certainly happy to see a game like this come out and at least be playable and see some fixes happen so quickly. But anyways, guys, thanks a lot for coming and check out the video. As always, I really appreciate it, and I'll see you in the next one.
Quarantine lifted.